Hi, and welcome to the Port to Port podcast. In today's episode, we're joined by Sidsel Norvik. Sidsel is a key figure in the maritime industry, especially in Norway, where she heads up the North Shipping. It's an event that runs every 2 years, and more recently, they've started a new event called Oslo Ocean Days. Sidsel got a career that spans over 30 years in the maritime space, including energy, obviously. And it's a really interesting chat. We had a bit of a notification battle at the start of it, but we got there in the end. So I'm sure you'll enjoy this. If it's something that you're thinking about and getting into the commercial aspects of the maritime industry, there's definitely a lot in it for you. So enjoy.
So thank you very much, Sidsel, for joining us today on the Port to Port podcast. As I said, I've done a slight intro for you. I'm not going to do you justice. So if you can give us a kind of short brief on who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I certainly can. Thank you for inviting me. It's exciting to have this chat. I am Sidsel Norvik. I'm director for No Shipping. No Shipping is one of the, well, we say the most important, but it's one of the leading maritime meeting places. Collects the whole global maritime industry for a week of conferences and fun and exhibition.
Excellent, awesome. So you obviously, well, I really want to dive in. So we just before we obviously started recording, you were saying about Ocean Days as well. So you're launching a new event. But before we get into that, you obviously looking through your profile. You started off in sales and marketing way back when. Was that energy related initially, or did you just end up finding your way into that?
Well, actually, I started my career in a business daily in Norway. The biggest business daily in Norway, called Dagens Næringsliv. And I thought at the time that, okay, I'll do this while I'm trying to get a really cool marketing job. I'll just try with subscription sales, and just while I was looking. And then once I got into that media house, it was focusing on maritime and oil and gas and everything under the sun. Because I mean, of course, there's a lot of ocean industries in Norway, so that was a lot of it. So, and selling a business daily, I needed to obviously understand the personalities. This was the business newspaper, so sort of the business leaders of all the business sectors in Norway. And I just found it so fascinating to learn about, of course, myself, all these different individuals and the different industries. So I'll just see if I can turn off the
no worries.
all these messages.
I was like, is that mine there? I'm like, oh no.
Must be some good sales going on.
Yeah, you're doing well. You're obviously doing better than me.
Yeah. No, but what I thought was a job that would, take me, through the next year. I stayed there for 26 years.
Wow.
So initially it was the Business Daily in Norway, and then it was also Tradewinds, which is a shipping publication, the most important shipping publication in the world. Their marketing director, she was going on a maternity leave, and I got that job for a year.
Nice.
And that was really, really exciting. I got super into the shipping industry. I got to organize the big Tradewinds party during No Shipping. So that was sort of my first intro to No Shipping.
Right.
But then a lot of different sort of jobs on the house. And then our founder, he wanted to launch an oil and gas newspaper, which basically became my baby. It was like 20 years of building from nothing to becoming the most important oil and gas newspaper called Upstream.
Right.
Anyway, that was a really, really fun time. Yeah.
How did you, obviously, I mean, it's hard to kind of cover 26 years in a sentence, but from your perspective, what were the challenges? You said, obviously, trying to get to know the personalities and the types of people. What were the kind of challenges for you to overcome initially, or what personalities did you find that were easier to sell to, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Of course, it was easier to sell to Norwegians, being a Norwegian. So the Norwegian market was sort of the first market to capture. But then we almost from the beginning had an office in Houston, and then we built an office in Singapore, and then we had several different offices. And so for me, it was I think the steepest learning curve was that the same position in the same industry could be totally different in Houston compared to Norway and Singapore and Japan, or wherever you went, to really have a step back and sort of learn the people first before I burst out with who I am kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the most challenging but also the most interesting.
Yeah. Sure.
This global industry is just filled with so many different cultures and characters, and it's the complexity of the world that makes both the oil and gas industry, but also the shipping industry, which is the one industry maybe that is the most global, because it connects kind of all.
Connects everyone else. What do you think are the main differences between selling in the likes of Houston compared to Norway?
Well, I think it's bigger. Everything is big in Texas, and so it was always a bigger account. So you could talk to the biggest oil and gas company here in Norway, Equinor, and then we were talking these accounts. But when you went to Chevron or Exxon, it was like these are giant corporations and accounts, and you really needed to be somewhat more professional. Here in Norway, you could call and say, "What do you say?" And then you really had to be super prepared to all prepared for any kind of question, really.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. I will use this as a coaching lesson rather than anything else, I think. So obviously from there then, so 26 years, were you doing quite a bit of traveling then, I take it? Were you obviously getting around the world? Did you do Asia as well then? You said Singapore, were you traveling everywhere, or?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much on the road every 3 weeks.
Right.
So it was a lot of traveling. I love traveling. So it's and my body doesn't have any sort of I guess clock. So when I go to sleep, I sleep, and then I wake up when the clock rings.
Right.
And even though the time might change by 7 hours, it doesn't affect me. I think maybe it's because of all the traveling that it's given up. My body has given up on. Okay, she's down.
We'll wake up when we have to.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That is, I mean, I've got a few. So obviously, I don't do as much traveling after COVID. So we used to do a fair amount. But a few of my friends, like different jobs that they've got, they do a lot, and you can see them really kind of getting tired of it and whatnot. Did you get to a point where I've had enough of this? I would rather be more focused in one area, or were you in top of the world?
Not really, because my job was really all over the place. I had to sort of work with the team in Houston, in Singapore, in Rio, in New Delhi. It was all over the place. So and I just wanted to try to spread my time equally around. And also I had to follow the biggest events. So now I'm in the events area, organizing events myself, but I used to go to all these events all over the place.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, it's nice now that I travel maybe once every 2 months, which is really nice. So that's like perfect. But now my team is here, so that's natural.
So obviously, once you left there, you spent some time. I can't remember the name of it. I forgot. So please forgive me. It was another newspaper. Was that correct? Or was that
Upstream.
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah, said that. Yeah, sorry.
Upstream Oil and Gas. And then 10 years into Upstream, we launched Recharge, which is renewables. We started off by focusing on waves, wave and tidal. It was solar, it was offshore wind and onshore wind. And then eventually it turned into more of a wind publication. It was much tougher to break into that. I think we were ahead of the time with renewables and trying to make that a business. But still, the editorial quality was excellent, but it was hard to get commercial spending and so forth. So it was quite.
Is that down to it largely being startups? I suppose if you look at the kind of Pareto effect, like 80% are going to be smaller businesses when their money's in R&D, or
a lot of that. And we knew that eventually they will have money, but they didn't at the time, and still we had to, of course, write about them and follow the industry. Really, really good publication, and it's really it's making money and is doing quite well. So I think it was a good investment. The owners had the opportunity to spend money for some years. So I think at the end of the day, it's good, and that they will survive.
I hope you still have shares in it.
Well, I don't have any share. I have some shares in the group, but I have a lot of friends in the group. So.
And then obviously after that, so you left Upstream and you went into the event space. How did you find the transition?
It was really, really interesting, really. And I guess more than anything, going back to maritime full time, I really love the maritime industry. And I didn't sort of think about it as much until I actually came back to it. And oil and gas is fun, but it's big corporations, very, very corporate. But the maritime is it's a lot of the owners are private. It's fun. It's vibrant. It's it's more exciting industry, I think, and more global as well. So
and more what? Sorry.
More global, more global attractions.
Yeah.
Oil and gas is of course global, but it's global in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's
certain regions.
No,
I can't explain how lucky I feel every day just working in the maritime industry. It's filled with some amazing people, and there's so many, and I think there's almost a zest for life that I've not really seen in a lot of different industries, where people, especially those that have spent time at sea, they really get, and they get the value of the smaller things in life. Yeah. So how did you? I've never done events and such like that, other than events where you're putting acts on. What are the main challenges, like, really, to try and build an event and get a following? And obviously you went in. I suppose it's different for you had North Shipping going already. What would you say are the kind of key challenges to building an event?
Well, you need the right people at a top level to attend the event, because it's like the top people that will make the others follow. Of course, North Shipping has an amazing brand. It's 60 years old, and my predecessors have done an amazing job to build that brand. So a lot of the key players, they know that they have to go to North Shipping, because that's where everybody will be first week of June. But to actually get them to attend our events, our conferences, they have to be top notch. You have to have the right people on stage. You have to have the right agenda. You need to really be topical and relevant. So I think that's where we focus the most, and of course, which is the biggest challenge. There's a lot of conferences all over the world. I mean, you can go to conferences absolutely every day. So to be the ones that sticks out, the one that have to go to that one is a challenge, but it's also what really makes it rewarding when the house is full, and it works. So yeah.
How hard is it? So obviously North Shipping, so it's June next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of setting an agenda, how quickly, the rate of change at the moment in the world is insane. How quickly can you, or at what point can you actually reliably set an agenda? And then, because obviously you need to try and book people in early, I'd imagine.
Well, actually, we gather our advisory board on 8th of April. That's when we will set the overall sort of theme for North Shipping. We always try to find that one word that describes the sort of the most important word we can work with. Last year that was future proof, and that worked extremely well with all the discussions going on IMO meeting and everything else. That didn't really work that well, but and year before that it was partnership. A year before that, or 2 years before that, it was action. So that overall theme sets the course, and then all the other conferences will sort of build around that. So after 8th of April, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. Curious,
Yeah.
I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I mean, it must be. How long? So when you have, how many people are on the board, the advisory board?
It's 13, 14.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be quite hard to get everyone together to pick one, I suppose.
But we've only, of course, done quite a lot of legwork. So we will present quite a few options, and then there is my favorite. So and then we will have a voting, and yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, that's. Do you know, I've never really kind of thought of that in terms of how you set an agenda, and especially now how you can set an agenda. And so we can obviously touch on the new event, so Ocean Days.
Yeah.
If you want to tell us a bit about Ocean Days.
Yeah, because I mean, 2 years is a long time, and it's basically becoming longer because things are happening so much faster and faster and faster. So I mean, we always ask our exhibitors and partners and visitors a set of questions, and one question after 2023 was, how important is it for you that North Shipping focus on sustainability? So, on a scale from 1 to 6, 100% said 6. So we were just like, wow, okay. For us to focus on sustainability is really, really important. But after 2025, asking the same question, the score was down to 50%. Of course, a lot of them went from 6 to 5, and it's not that. I think the core North Shipping visitor, they're obviously they will go for sustainability. I mean, sustainability is actually surviving your business and thriving in your business, basically. Yeah. But with the current geopolitical landscape, it's so complicated to maneuver that there are just other things that are more important right now. And more unreliable. So I think that was quite a surprise. So I figured we need to do something in between these 2 years, because so many things are happening. Yeah. And then it was actually Tradewinds that knocked on our door and said, should we do something together in the mid-year? And then it made sense, because they are extremely good at doing the ship owners forum all over the world. They know how to set the agenda and get the right speakers to come. We are experts in actually organizing it, having the platform, and being the arena. So together, I think we're dynamite, and that Oslo Ocean Days will become another really, really big and important global meeting place.
And is there a specific focus for the demographic, who you're going after, or is it?
Investors and ship owners, cargo owners, top level.
Right, okay. In any particular cargo, or just just across the board.
Just across the board, yeah. And it will not be an exhibition. I mean, that is the main core for Nor-Shipping. But this will be downtown Oslo and not include the exhibition at Lillestrøm.
Right.
Yeah.
So more speaking events.
Speaking events and also partner events. We want to sort of make Oslo into a maritime week where the Ship Owners Association can have their event, where the bank can have their event. The whole week will be a set of maritime events or ocean events.
Right. Okay. That's pretty cool. How? So it's as you said, it's a completely different setup. So from North Shipping, is there any of them that are more challenging? Is it more challenging to do this side of things where you're planning speaking events all over the city, or is it?
I think that since we will have our headline conference and we will have a few social activities that will be sort of we will organize. All the other events, they will just hatch on to the program. So we will just be a platform. So then all the other events, that will be up to the associations or DNB or DNV or whoever to organize their own events. We help them by putting it into the program and being a marketing platform. Making sure that the world knows that this is the Ocean Week happening. Yeah.
Awesome. Personally for you then, so what would you say, like you've had, it's an incredible career. There's no two ways you can actually say it. What would you say are your kind of biggest challenges that you had to overcome that you might not have realized that were ahead of you?
I think my role has always been a little bit bigger than me. I've always, from when I started on subscription sales, I was like, I can't do this, so I need to learn how to do it. And then I got the marketing manager at Tradewinds. I can't do this, how do I? And I always had to sort of figure it out. So it's always been a bit of a challenge, but I guess that's what's been driving me to always have a job that I don't really know. Really? Okay, of course I knew quite a good part of it, but I always felt that there was things that, this is bigger than me. I just went for it. And so I think that's been sort of a challenge all the time. And that's what I would urge anyone who wants to enter this industry is like, just go for it. It's it's really, really fun when you go for something that you don't really know how, and then you succeed, and then it's like, wow, I did it, and then I guess one other challenge is that I've always been in a male-oriented industry, of course.
Yeah.
As we work with Vista, women in shipping, to try to put and urge more women to take leadership positions and because I think it is an advantage to be a woman in this industry if you know your business, but if you don't know your business, then it can be an absolute hell. So so you really, I think that for women, you really need to know your business more than the guys, because they can get away with whatever in a different way. Yeah. So, but you
joined Vista when you were younger. Then did you felt that helped you in your career, or?
I actually didn't know about Vista until I came back to Nor-Shipping, and then I was already old. So no, so there wasn't anything like that for oil and gas, and it's been energy and oil and gas until I came back to it. So, but I think it's a really, really good to be part of Vista. They do a lot of good stuff, and I think the industry has become extremely. When you talk to the ship owners or the investors and everything else, they really want to have more women in their leadership positions. So it's just about the women need to have the confidence in themselves and just go for it. You know, when we put together our conference programs, we try to have at least 40% women. And we can go to a CEO who is a woman and say, well, we want you to have you know, to speak at this conference. Like, I'm not sure if I'm good enough, or you can probably find somebody better. We often can get that kind of response. But if we ask a male CEO, that's never a response. They're like, oh, okay, I'll do it. So it's like the women need to just go for it, and don't be shy.
The funny thing is even when, so this is really small in comparison, but when we ask people onto the podcast, I would say, well, I think we've only had, we've recorded 3 podcasts with women, but I would say we've probably got a 90%. I don't really know what my story would, or how my story would be important. Whereas in my head, it's so much more important, because there's so many. I mean, there's some really, really cool people that are coming through, that are sailing, that I know of in the industry, that are they're so vocal on social media, and obviously in improving the conditions for women in the industry right across the board. And so it's good. It would be good to see. I know for a fact that probably about 4 or 5 of them are going to go right to the top, just because they're bullish, and it's like, good on you. But yes, but I also know a few people that have had hardship, and not necessarily been treated correctly at different points in their career in the industry, that they then it's kind of softened them a bit, and they're not softened them, sorry, it's made them kind of go, well, I don't really want to put myself out there too much, or put myself into a new role. But I suppose you could also obviously just join Vista and really try and surround yourself by ballers, essentially, because there's some amazing women in there, isn't there? Let's be honest.
Yeah, there really is. And my urge to women in maritime is just like, really go for it, because there's a huge need for female leaders in the industry, and they are equally good or better. So you need the mix. That's what makes a team ideal, is to have the mix. So
do you mind if do you have children?
I do. I have a son.
Awesome. And how, like, so obviously within the leadership thing, because even just because we're talking on this point, how was it for you? How was the experience? Obviously amazing having a kid and all that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Coming back into it, did you feel as if you had to rush your maternity leave, or and then when you came back in, how was it for you?
Well, I mean, of course, I'm fortunate to live in Norway, where it's you have really, really good state conditions. So I could be home for 9 months.
Yeah.
And then my husband had to take 3 months at home. So it was super easy. And by the time he was 9 months, I mean, he was crawling on the door to get out. You know, he didn't. And when I put him in kindergarten, he was just like, bye. Yeah, so that was not a problem at all.
He's going to be. Is he in sales now then?
No, he's actually in forestry. He's
oh wow!
Yeah.
There was a lot of that, I suppose, in Norway.
Yeah, there's a lot of forest here, so he's got a good business going for him. Yeah.
Good. And then obviously, so coming back into your where were you working when you came back from maternity leave?
At Dagens Næringsliv, at the Business Daily. Yeah. So that was quite early. Then it was after the TradeWinds job, and then so I worked for the Business Daily again for some time, and then it was Upstream. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. So what's next for you then? So you've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you manage your time, to be honest. You're board member of two separate entities, CEO, director. I know you're going skiing tomorrow.
Yes.
How can you fit it all in?
Yeah. No, and I have a small boat here in the harbor that I go out on after Easter. Then I'll put the boat on the water, and I'll be seen in my little boat. No, what's next for me? I think, I mean, Oslo Ocean Days is a really, really fun new adventure. It's I really excited about that. To bring the North Shipping brand sort of more relevant throughout the whole year, really, year in, year out. And then it's to grow my team and to make to really set North Shipping as the most important maritime week. And then set my team colleagues in positions to eventually take over from my position. I mean, I'm turning in a year, less than a year, turning 60. So I can't be here forever. So
still young, one that's still young, and then
yeah. But it's as long as I love what I do, I've always been driven by passion. And that started as soon as I started to call on sales. That's when I realized I said, gee, I really love to make business, to grow business, to find new business opportunities. And that's still driving me. And as long as I'm driven by that, I will hang around here and continue to develop North Shipping and Oslo Ocean Days.
Awesome. So the I would say largely the whole point of this podcast is to open people's eyes to the different careers that they might have within the industry. So for anyone that might be listening that's currently sailing but has always had maybe an interest in the commercial side or the sales side, what advice could you give to them? Because a lot of people, obviously, they come ashore and there's a lot of sales roles within the industry right across, obviously, the event side, the as you say, the publication side, but obviously within the suppliers, within the shipyards, everything. What kind of advice would you give on that?
Well, I mean, eventually, if you're a female sailor, then you might want to work on shore after some time. There are a huge number of opportunities and a lot more coming, especially in the autonomy world. There's not. I don't think that there will be deep sea ships going fully autonomous for as long as we live, but there will be a lot of need for technicians and on land positions in business, in across the insurance world, or if you want to go to law school, you can always do that. There's so many opportunities in the maritime industry that you don't really think of as maritime as well. I mean, any kind of business is needed in the maritime industry. If you have that passion for the sea, then there's endless opportunities to have also on land.
I'm going to. I'm not sure if I should ask this because I'm going to put you in the spot. In your team, how many people in your team are ex-sailors?
None of them.
You edit that
out. But we would welcome one if
yeah.
for sure.
I'm so sorry. I was in my head. I should ask that, but then I'm like, I could catch you here. Okay, cool. Well, Sidsel, it's been an absolute pleasure. One of the last questions I always ask is, what your first memory of the industry, of the shipping industry, whether you're on a boat or seeing something that you're just like, wow. Can you think of that?
Maybe it was the first time we organized the party for during North Shipping, where I don't know how many ship owners were on board, but Jon Fredriksen and some of the really, really big guys were on this, and I was on that same ship. I was like, this is such a small industry, and even though it's truly, truly global, and everybody sort of knows each other, and it's sort of a family business, So it's I think that's one of the first times I was really like, wow, I really love this business.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Sidsel Norvik, thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure. And as I say, enjoy your skiing tomorrow.
Yes, thank you so much. I look forward to that. It's going to be sunny, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, no, we've got sun for a change as well here, so can't. Thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.